Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I am Elly, an English teacher at SMK Negeri 1 Bondowoso, East Java. I was so glad for becoming one of participants of virtual teachers empowerment program conducted by Marwadi University, India, Dinas Pendidikan Provinsi Jawa Timur, tie-ups, and APTIKOM. Thank you for the chance so I could join a historical moment in a webinar that was connecting Indonesia and India for an academic collaboration. On this occasion, I would like to summarize the content of the first session of the webinar and how I will apply it in my English learning. It is about principles of student engagement in a virtual classroom. Well, as Mr. Dhananjay Singh from Marwadi University explained, learning happens by what learner does, not what teacher does. As a teacher, I am going to make an opportunity to ask my students do more practices and do something, not only in face-to-face learning in the classroom, but also in virtual learning. For instance, in speaking assessment, I will ask my students to make a video of their monologue for giving their opinion or introducing themselves or making a conversation for offering help. Einstein said that learning is experience, everything else is just information. I'm going to create an experience, not only give information to my students, since by experiencing learning can only happen. For example, in writing assessment, I will ask my students to make an application letter. So they will experience in making the letter as they were applicants. Learning is change in cognitive level, affective level, and psychomotor level. So learning is related to thinking, feeling, and doing. These three levels are united. Learning means skill, and it is included in the psychomotor level. You know, to have the psychomotor level, you firstly need to have both cognitive and affective levels, because thinking and feeling are priority in learning. For lesson design, we should not only present the content of the lessons. You should put the context for taking students from known to the unknown context and discuss them with students. To be a good teacher, we must have a good ability in communication. Communication is not only talking a language. We must be able to communicate in a communication cycle. So, I would like to implement this communication cycle in my class. I, as a sender of a message, will use language and gesture to communicate with my students as the receiver of the message. In online learning, I use social media to deliver my lesson through video, text, and other forms. And I ask my students to respond as the feedback. So, this communication cycle will continue well, and I hope any kind of mistakes can be recovered. In addition, to build the effective communication, we need 3 V's. They are visual, vocal, and verbal. In face-to-face learning, for visual aspect, I used to use my eye contact, gesture, posture, gait, facial expressions, and appearance that can be visually seen by my students. While in online or virtual learning, I use them through explanation on my videos. The second aspect is vocal, including emotion, pitch, and pace. So, to make my learning interesting, I need to modulate my voice, audibility, and speed of my speaking. I'm sure that my students will understand my explanation well. And the last is verbal aspect. It is about language and vocabulary. As a teacher, of course, I have to enrich my ability in English with millions of vocabularies. These three things must be managed together to make my learning more interactive and interesting. And I hope my students will understand the message I deliver. So, everyone, remembering a quote by Mahatma Gandhi, "Be the change you want to see in the world." I tell myself to make a change in anything and everything. Let's change the world to be better. Let's build our education much better and keep our strong engagement with our students in a virtual classroom. Thank you. See you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.